Mr. Leonidas here, and this is my Tomahawk and Hatchet collection. And I did not know it had grown so large. It took me a few minutes to get everything either off of my tactical rigs or off the wall. So that was quite an accomplishment getting this together. Although it may not seem that much, I think it's added up quite well. But before I get too detailed in this video, I want to give a few shout outs actually. The first one to Chris, Army Stinger 150, because he's also a Tomahawk connoisseur as myself, and he said he'd like to see my collection. It's been a long time since I've done these, a lot of good Tomahawk stuff or good updates, so this is, here's something new and fresh. And also Mike, his YouTube channel name is Zombies. He is the home of the Hawk Project, and he actually made one of these Tomahawks right here, which I'm going to talk about here in a moment. But yeah, I got some really nice stuff here, so let's check it out. Now here on my right, I basically have it all set up is the pretty much oldest to newest, or the earliest Tomahawks I got to the latest, what I've got here. So first up here is the SOG FastHawk, and not too terribly modified. Just has an ATAX FG paint job that I had worked on a while back. I'd done some videoing with that, so it's a pretty cool little Tomahawk. Done a lot of throwing with this. Pretty well balanced Tomahawk, and pretty mean, pretty sharp, and I like the little spike back there. I have a nice little wrap on here. It just has camo form tape with a little bit of black electrical on each side, keeping it tapered down, and then just a small pinky lanyard on there. So pretty good little Tomahawk, and just feels real good in the hand. And it's held up really well over the years. It's the first one in the collection, so I highly recommend it. And also, yeah, and sheathing wise, I have a Kydex sheath for this. I have a video on that. I did not like the sheath it came with. All right, next up is the Dragon's Fire Forge Tomahawk. This is an Iroquois style Tomahawk. When I say Iroquois, I'm talking about the long beard it has on there. It's going to be something like a trading Tomahawk. Has a long beard, it has the war spike on that, and it is made from a railroad spike. Pretty awesome on there, and it's pretty well set in there. I've got a wedge set into the top of the shaft there, and man, it's a pretty nice Tomahawk, because I have used it, and man, it does chops like a beast, and it holds a pretty good edge on there. And I have it wrapped up with actual leather. I have a little bit of tape underneath. Keep it from sliding all around all crazy like, but yeah, love this one. It stays on my wall, and I have a handmade sheath for it out of plywood, and it works great. Next up is the old school, if you want to call it that, GG&G Battlehawk Tomahawk. I believe these are obsolete. You can't find them anymore. I even talked to the GG&G company about some extra hardware for this, and they don't have any of it left. So a lot of people think this either belongs as like a museum relic or other things, but I've done some video with this. I don't really care what a lot of folks have to say. I mean, I had a lot of fun with this Tomahawk. Now, is it totally practical? Absolutely not. But like I said, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it's a little too heavy for what it is, but man, it is neat. I mean, it's made out of the S7 Crucible steel. Man, it is heavy duty, and then it has a micarta grips on there, and then I've got a paracord wrapped with a little camo form tape underneath, and man, that is wicked, setup on there. But yeah, I mean, impractical, yes, but fun, yes. So there goes that. But that's the GG&G. Next up is the most practical Tomahawk I've got in my collection here. This is the Gen 1 Mark 6. It is from Mike from Home of the Hawk Project. Man, he does some awesome stuff. He's even designed the Eco Hawk for Tops knives. So man, he knows what he's talking about. And this is an awesome Tomahawk because it's extremely well balanced handle. Mike does some amazing work with these handles, some really detailed engineering that goes into this to make this a perfect survival and field tool, and also a very lethal weapon. And it has a cold steel Trailhawk Tomahawk on there, so man, that is nice, perfectly well balanced. The only thing, not for throwing. So far, you got the SOG's good for throwing. The Dragon's Fire Forge Hawk, not a thrower, GG&G. You know, sure, if you want to, it's a big old chunk of steel, go for it. But this one is not a thrower either, but it's good. Like I said, survival and combat, it's going to really excel. But Mike knows what he's doing with these tomahawks. Really favor this bad boy. So got a lot of good use into it. Next up is Fiskars Hatchet. I won from Survival Crafts, one of his subscriber giveaways. I actually, unfortunately, have not taken this out yet. But man, I was just looking at it. That bad boy is sharp. It's kind of scary sharp, to be honest with you. I about cut my forearm open getting it all ready for this. But man, that is nice. I like how it's all blacked out, and the grip is very ergonomical. Man, that is one comfortable hatchet there. And I'm not a big hatchet fan. I like my tomahawks, but cannot beat a good hatchet because of that weight. It's like a big old hammer on there. And then last up is, now I have been using this lately. Now, this is the Condor Baby Spike Axe. Now, I almost consider this a tomahawk because of its size, but if you doubled or tripled or quadrupled this, you know, this little axe, I mean, obviously it would be a full-sized axe, but this is, you know, small enough to be, I'd say, considered a tomahawk. But this bad boy, the only thing about it is I wish you could use it with two hands, but man, that is nice, and it is wicked sharp, and it's very solid, and it actually has an American hickory handle. And man, I've been using this lately, and I'll probably have some footage out there soon. And man, it is nice, and that spike is pretty vicious on there too. So mean little baby spike axe, but I dig it. I really dig it. So that is it for my collection, and the disclaimer I always put out there is, the way I go with these tomahawks and tools is I buy more, I sell sometimes, I trade, and so this collection may change. But honestly, I really love everything here. I think it's, you know, I'm really happy with it. In fact, I really would love to start working with this Fiskars and maybe get a better a sheath for it, because I have to say, man, this in my hand now, man, that is nice. I mean, and you can just like that edge on it. Good grief. But yeah, I love everything I've got here. I mean, it's got everything I've got is pretty much, it's been with me for a little while, and I trust it. I like this stuff in front of me. I dig it. But you know, to each their own. Everybody's got their preferences. But anyway, that's all I got in my collection. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, I thank you for your time. And it's Mr. Lee and I signing out. Have a good one.